Imagine waking up, checking your wallet, and noticing that money seems to disappear, even though you didn't buy anything unusual. You might think, where did it all go? The truth is, your money is quietly leaking through invisible holes in your budget. Today, we are uncovering the hidden budget killers most people never notice, and how to stop them before it's too late. Let's start with a simple example. Sarah signs up for one streaming service, then another app, a fitness program, a learning course. She barely uses them, but the charges keep coming. By the end of the year, all these little subscriptions have cost her hundreds of dollars. The scary part? Most people don't even realize they're paying for things they haven't touched in months. Ask yourself, how many apps are quietly draining your wallet right now? Next, consider the innocent daily habits. That $5 coffee every morning, a snack on the way to work, that impulse online purchase, they seem harmless. But do the math. $5 a day equals $150 a month, or $1,800 a year. Even if you're careful with big expenses, these tiny habits silently drain your finances over time. How much are your small daily choices costing you without you realizing it? Now, let's talk about something many people ignore: credit card interest. You swipe your card, thinking, I'll pay it off later. But later comes, and the interest has already eaten a chunk of your money. A $1,000 balance with just 20% April can quietly cost hundreds in interest every year if you only make minimum payments. Do you really know how much your small debt is silently growing behind the scenes? Have you ever bought something online and noticed a fee at checkout? Or paid for a service and discovered a tax you didn't plan for? These small, invisible charges constantly nibble away at your budget without you even realizing it. Even experienced budgeters often underestimate the impact of hidden fees over time. Money can disappear in another quiet way most people rarely think about: automatic upgrades. You download a free app. Everything works fine. Then suddenly, you see a message: upgrade to premium for only $3.99. It feels small, almost invisible. So you tap accept. A few weeks later, another app does the same thing. Then another service offers a small upgrade. Slowly, these upgrades turn into a monthly bill you never planned. And the strange part is that you rarely feel the moment your budget starts shrinking. It happens quietly in the background. Another invisible budget destroyer hides inside something that looks completely normal: convenience. Food delivery, ride sharing, quick online purchases. Everything today is designed to make spending money feel effortless. Think about it. Years ago, buying food meant cooking or going to a restaurant. Now you can press one button and food appears at your door. But convenience has a hidden price: delivery fees, service charges, tips. Suddenly, a $12 meal becomes $25. And because the process feels easy, your brain barely registers the spending. Then there's something even more subtle: emotional spending. Imagine a long, stressful day at work. You feel tired, maybe a little frustrated. You open an online store just to look around. Nothing serious, just scrolling. But suddenly you see something interesting: a gadget, a piece of clothing, something that promises a small moment of happiness. So you buy it. Not because you truly needed it, but because it felt good in the moment. This type of spending is powerful because it hides behind emotions. And when emotional spending becomes a habit, it quietly eats away at your financial future. There is also a silent force that slowly attacks every wallet: lifestyle inflation. When your income increases, your lifestyle often increases with it. You get a raise at work. Suddenly, cheaper options don't feel good enough anymore. You start choosing better restaurants, more expensive clothes, new gadgets. None of these changes feel extreme. Each one seems reasonable. But over time, your expenses grow just as fast as your income. And suddenly, despite earning more money than before, you still feel like you're barely saving anything. Another invisible leak hides inside something people rarely question: convenience payments. Subscriptions renew automatically. Bills are charged to your card. Purchases happen with a single click. Because you don't physically hand over cash, the spending doesn't feel real. Your brain treats digital payments differently than physical money. And this psychological trick makes it easier to spend far more than you planned. But perhaps the most dangerous invisible budget destroyer is something you cannot even see directly: time. Every dollar you waste today is not just a dollar lost. It's a dollar that could have grown, invested, or multiplied in the future. Imagine saving just $5 a day and investing it for years. That small habit could grow into thousands of dollars. But if those same $5 disappeared daily through invisible spending, that future never happens. And the most surprising part is that most people never notice the difference until many years later. There is another invisible force quietly draining your money, and most people never even notice it happening. It's called impulse friction, or rather, the lack of it. In the past, spending money required effort. You had to walk to a store, take cash out of your wallet, and physically hand it over. That small moment of hesitation gave your brain time to think. Today, spending can happen in less than 2 seconds. One click, one tap, one confirmation. The transaction is done before your brain even questions it. And when buying becomes this effortless, it quietly opens the door for hundreds of small unnecessary purchases. Another invisible budget destroyer hides inside something people often celebrate: discounts and sales. Imagine seeing a large sign that says 50% OFF. Your brain immediately thinks you are saving money. But here's the real question. Were you planning to buy that item before you saw the discount? If the answer is no, then the discount didn't save you money. It simply convinced you to spend money you weren't planning to spend. Stores understand human psychology very well. They know that the word sale can turn hesitation into instant action. And slowly, these smart purchases become another invisible leak in your financial life. There is also a silent budget killer hiding in something many people consider harmless entertainment. Mobile games, online platforms, and digital marketplaces are filled with tiny purchases. A skin for a character, extra lives, a premium upgrade, a special feature unlocked for just a few dollars. Each purchase feels insignificant. $5 here, $3 there, maybe $10 for something special. But over time, these small digital payments can quietly grow into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And because these purchases exist only on a screen, they rarely feel like real spending. Another invisible budget leak hides inside social pressure. Think about how often people spend money just to keep up with others. Friends go to expensive restaurants. Coworkers buy new gadgets. Social media shows luxury vacations and designer clothes. Slowly, without realizing it, people begin adjusting their spending to match what they see around them. But here's the dangerous part. Everyone is only showing the highlight version of their life. You see the expensive dinner, but not the credit card bill. You see the new car, but not the monthly payments behind it. And when spending becomes a competition, budgets quietly collapse under the pressure. Another hidden factor slowly draining people's finances is something surprisingly simple: forgetting. A forgotten subscription. An unused gym membership. A service you meant to cancel but never did. Month after month, money keeps leaving your account automatically. Because these payments are small and predictable, they rarely trigger alarm in your mind. But if you add them together over a year, the total can be surprisingly large. And most people only realize this when they finally check their bank statements carefully. Finally, there is one more invisible budget destroyer that operates slowly but relentlessly: procrastination. People delay financial decisions all the time. They delay canceling subscriptions. They delay paying off debt. They delay learning how money actually works. Each delay may seem small, but time quietly multiplies the cost of inaction. Interest grows. Opportunities disappear. And the invisible damage keeps spreading through the budget. By now, you might be wondering, if these invisible forces are everywhere, is it even possible to control your money? The surprising answer is yes. But it doesn't start with a complicated strategy or a perfect budget. It starts with awareness. Most people lose money not because they are irresponsible, but because they never notice where the small leaks are coming from. And once you start noticing them, something interesting begins to happen. Imagine someone checking their bank statement for the first time with real attention. They scroll through the transactions and suddenly see dozens of small charges they barely remember making. A subscription here. A delivery fee there. A random online purchase late at night. Individually, each expense looks harmless. But together, they tell a completely different story. And that moment of realization can completely change how someone thinks about money. Another powerful change happens when people begin asking one simple question before every purchase. Do I actually need this, or do I just want it right now? This small pause creates something extremely valuable: space for better decisions. Instead of reacting emotionally, you begin choosing intentionally. And surprisingly, many purchases lose their appeal after just a few minutes of thinking. There is also a powerful habit that financially successful people use all the time. They treat small amounts of money with the same respect as large amounts. To most people, $5 feels insignificant. But financially disciplined people see those $5 differently. They understand that money grows through consistency, not through occasional big wins. Small decisions repeated every day slowly shape a completely different financial future. Think about two people earning the exact same salary. One person ignores the invisible leaks in their budget. The other person slowly closes them, one by one. A cancelled subscription here. A smarter purchase there. Fewer impulsive decisions. At first, the difference seems tiny. But over the years, those small choices create a massive gap between their financial lives. The truth is that money rarely disappears because of one huge mistake. Instead, it slowly fades away through dozens of invisible ones. And once you learn to see these invisible forces, you gain something extremely powerful: control. Control over where your money goes. Control over the habits shaping your financial future. So the next time you look at your wallet or bank account, ask yourself one important question: are invisible forces controlling your money, or are you? Because once you start paying attention, those invisible budget destroyers begin to lose their power. And that's the moment when your money finally starts working for you instead of against you. If you want to understand money better and avoid the financial mistakes most people never notice, make sure to subscribe to the channel. New videos will help you see the hidden rules of money and make smarter financial decisions. And who knows, the next idea you learn might completely change the way you think about money.